Hi, it's Andy, and today I'm bringing you my Q3 stats and book haul. Yes, we are 3/4 of the way through the year. We're in the last quarter. It is absolutely insane that this year has gone by so fast. I'm honestly, I feel like I've mentally just jumped over autumn and I'm just thinking about Christmas already, and it's only the start of October, which is so wrong on so many levels. I just feel like I need to get organised. But talking of organised, I am here to go through my stats with you. So these are all the stats for July, August and September. So go over my stats in the first half of the video, and then the second half I will give you a book haul, which is slightly scary, I'm not going to lie. So if you'd rather see one or the other, you'll be able to see if I'm holding books up, that's me doing the haul. If I'm not and there's numbers, that will be me doing the stats. This feels like it's going to take a while to film, and I really don't know how much raw footage I'm going to get, so I'm just going to jump right in with the stats. Starting off with how many books I read. Over the course of the 3 months, I read 42 books, and that splits into 11 books for July, 16 books for August, and 15 books for September. Pages wise, I read 16,276 pages, which breaks down into 4,530 pages for July, 5,372 pages for August, and 6,374 pages for September. So this is actually up quite a bit from, up 4,000 pages from the last quarter, which is good. We're getting some momentum going. As for the genres, this broke down into 15 romance books, 16 science fiction and fantasy books. Remember, I do lump all my science fiction and fantasy in together because some of my books draw a really thin line. So 16 of those, 6 historical fictions, 3 non-fictions, and 2 thrillers. I'm actually really happy with those 3 non-fictions because I have wanted to try and read at least one non-fiction a month, and yeah, 3 in 3 months is one a month. Well done, Andy. Well done. For the breakdown of the rep in my books, just to remind you, for LGBTQ+ rep and disabled rep, I have to be satisfied that it passes a certain threshold. So if the character is significant in the book, like a main character or a side character that is significant enough as part of the story, not just a glancing character, then I will count it for the LGBTQ+ and or disabled characters. So for this, I had 17 out of the 42 with LGBTQ+ characters, and 19 of the 42 had disabled characters. 8 of the books I read in this quarter were by authors of colour, and that makes up about 20%, 19% of my reads for the month, so I am happy that that is higher than last quarter. So yeah, we just need to continue that trend, continue keeping the numbers up, because I really want to diversify my reading, and that is the metric that I'm kind of looking at this year, is to make sure I'm picking up more authors of colour. And 7 of the books in the last quarter were rereads, which I think is the least amount of rereads. I feel like that's the least amount of rereads I've had this year. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm not mad at that at all. Now, looking at my TBR and library numbers for the quarter. Last quarter, my TBR was down to 73 books, physical books. This quarter, it was 84. So we've gone in the wrong direction, even though, I've only reread 7 books, so the rest of those books were coming off my TBR. So you can tell this haul is going to be a bit much. As for my library, if you don't know, I'm trying to get my library to be library. And so I'm aiming to try and build my library up to 1,000 books. Now, the caveat to this is obviously I'm trying to get my TBR down to 50 while trying to get my library up to 1,000. But in my library, my rule is that I only keep books that I will reread. I'm happy to pick up and reread any of the books on my shelf. And that is my metric that is my standard for keeping the books on my shelf. So I make it a bit hard for myself to get books on my shelves and into my library, but I want a library I'm happy with. So into the numbers. For quarter 2, my library was at 882 books, which meant I needed 118 books to hit my library goal of 1,000. And as of the end of quarter 3, my library is 932 books, which means I only have 68 books to go to make my 1,000 book library. Now, I'm going to say these numbers have already changed because I've hauled and unhauled books already in October. So I don't even know, I can't remember where it's sitting at right now, but all that matters for this is that as of the end of Q3, so as of the 30th of September or the 1st of October, round about, like, I can't remember when I took the measurements, but I think it was like end of September, 30th of September, like anything that got added or taken away on the 1st of October wasn't counted, obviously, that makes sense. But as of the end of September, I had 932 books on my shelves, on my library shelves, and I need 68 to make my goal of 1,000. So that concludes all of the stats that I'm going to cover in this video. Now it's time for the haul. Now, I would like to point out I had my birthday in August, which means I got a decent number of books in August. But I also got vouchers for books and money for books, which means that in September there was also quite a bit of books bought with my book money, plus points. So we've got a fairly decent haul here. Ironically, one of these books, the first one I'm going to tell you about, has already been unhauled. So I'm still going to include it because I did haul it in this month. I just also unhauled it. So numbers. Grand total for this quarter, I hauled 69 books. 69 books. Could not have made that up if I tried. You're welcome, Becca. You are welcome. That breaks down to 18 books in July, 21 books in August, and 30 books in September. So yeah, I'm just going to go and show you them and show you what I got each month. So the first book I'm going to talk about is a book I got in July that I also unhauled in July, and that is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I read Powerless and I DNF'd it at like 10ish pages in, and I already had Reckless pre-ordered and it had already arrived, and yeah, so I just took it back to the shop because I wasn't for continuing the series, obviously. I DNF'd the first book 10 pages in, so there was no way I was going to get to the second book. I even have the novella. But yeah, so that got punted back to Waterstones and I got my money back for that. So the first book that I actually kept then, and the first like sort of true-ish book in this haul, is The Betrayal of Thomas True by A.J. West with these beautiful peacock edges. I was so excited to get this book, and then later on I got to meet A.J. West. And it's ironic that I'm kind of filming this today because today is Thomas True's Day, and A.J. West is doing his best to try and sort of promote this book because his publisher has gone for a second run, and he said he is absolutely petrified that it's not going to sell, and most of the kind of advertisement for this book is through word of mouth. But I love this. I read it immediately. I absolutely adored this book. I love A.J. West's work. I think he's great. He is amazing as a person as well. Like, I met him and we went to his talk. Me and Vicky went to his talk about this book, and him talking about it convinced Vicky to read it. But I got a voice note from him today because he was doing a thing for the Thomas True's Day, and he was saying about the next run and how he's scared, and he was having a giggle as well about because we got photos taken together, and when I tagged him in it, he sent me a back with, like, he had a little top hat on and I had like a veil, and he was like, why does it look like we're getting married? Honestly, he's the nicest guy. He's so lovely, and I really, really want him to succeed. So if you like historical books, if you like LGBT books, if you like books about true events in history that are fictionalised, give this a read. His writing, his prose is beautiful. The passion and love that he puts into the story is just unparalleled, and he really deserves everything. Like, really, really deserves the numbers to be picked up. Get it for your friends, get it for your family, read this book, honestly. It is so good. I promise I won't do that for every book, just I just wanted to highlight that because it really does deserve to, like, it's one of those underrated books, and I just really want it to be more appreciated, if that makes sense. Next up, I got a copy of Need Me by Tessa Bailey. This is the book that I need from the Broke and Beautiful series. I had 2 that I got from Siobhan. This is the 3rd one that I needed. I think it's the 2nd book. So, like, I literally had books 1 and 3. And so I got this off of Books just to make sure I had the full set. Then I went to visit Tori, and we all know what happens when I go to visit Tori. I end up buying books. So the first thing I bought was from I think it's the Oxfam charity shop that we like to go to, and that is Pirates by Celia Rees. Celia Rees wrote one of my favourite historical fiction books that kind of opened me up to historical fiction written about real events, which is called Witch Child, and this is her book about, basically, I think it's like pirates in the Caribbean, not Pirates of the Caribbean, but like pirates in the Caribbean. I'm not entirely sure. Tori has read it and thinks I will like it, and you know, I got it for like less than £1 at a charity shop, so what are you gonna do? And it is becoming the trend when I go to that specific Oxfam. I think I can call it a trend. 3 times in a row, concurrently. I think that makes the trend. So you probably know what I'm going to say. I picked up a copy of The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Yep, literally every single time I've gone into that shop, there has been a different edition of The Secret Garden. I think they know I'm coming now. So now it's just become a thing that I collect editions of The Secret Garden. And the last thing I got from that charity shop was this hardback copy of The Country of Others by Leila Samani. Yes, I already have this in paperback, but it is, where are we going? There we go. It is signed. So I thought I kind of have to. It's a sticky in one, what's it called? Book plate. But yeah, I couldn't, for £3, a signed edition of this book, and worst comes to worst and I don't like it, I just give it back to the charity shop. Like, win-win. I do have a paperback of this. I got it in a blind date with a book from Toppings, and I've still not read it, so now that I have 2 editions, I probably should read it. And then A Reader's Most Dangerous Sins. We went to the works, and Tori turned her back on me for like a minute, and she came back and I had a stack of books, so oops, I suppose. The first thing I got from there was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Abby Jimenez is an author that I have been wanting to try for a while, and when I saw this and saw it was blurbed by Emily Henry, Beth O'Leary and Ali Hazelwood, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to pick it up now. Then I discovered that it was like the last book in a companion series, so I don't know whether to just read this and just suck it up, or whether to try and see and get like the previous ones, but I think I might just read this because I really need to stop doing that thing where I buy an entire series before I've actually read the first book. Spoiler for later. Then I picked up this beautiful, beautiful book. It is The Star and the Strange Moon by Constance Sayers, whose name I cannot say for the life of me. Constance seems to be the one I can't say. I don't know why. But yeah, this book, I have A Witch in Time by Constance Sayers, and I really, really enjoyed it. She does split timeline books. So this one is 1968. My numbers are getting turned around today. And 2007. And yeah, that is the majority of what I know about this book. I really enjoyed A Witch in Time. This book is absolutely stunning. And it was on like the 3 for £6 or whatever, so it's hard to say no. And then because I had to get something else to go with the 3 for £6, I picked up At First Bite by Olivia Dade. This is a plus size romance where she ends up living in this little house here called the Spite House, and it is like, I think it's meant to be like an enemies to lovers. I don't even know. I just heard good things about this, and so I decided to pick it up. Olivia Dade is one of the authors that blurbs a lot of my favourite romance authors. It's a name that I see pop up quite often, and so I thought, well, why not try one of her books? And then yeah, I did the thing that I was just saying I should really stop doing. And so I got these 3, which were the 3 that they had available of this 4-book series. So That Kind of Guy I know is the first one because I've already read this. And then I think the second one I didn't have in here. And then we've got In Your Dreams, Holden Roads, and Finn Roads Forever, which are books 3 and 4, and don't ask me which one is which. I just know these are books 3 and 4. And this is book 1. And so I picked these up because I love Stephanie Archer. And I picked one of these up and it was like Hot Firefighter, and I was like, well, I kind of have to now, don't I? So yeah, these are small town romances, and I really, really, really enjoyed that kind of guy, and I'm really excited for reading the rest of the series. Then started coming in all of my pre-orders for the month. So we have The Fiancé Dilemma by Elena Armas. This is the second companion novel to whichever the first book was. I have scrubbed it as much as I can from my mind, except the scene that made me DNF it. Like, why do people insist on doing gross stuff? And just... no. Anyway, yeah, this is like a second companion novel, so like the roommate experiment was to Spanish Love Deception. I'm hopeful that the last one was a one-off and that I really like this. If I don't like this, I will no longer be purchasing Elena Armas's books. Unfortunately, because I really, really, really didn't like the previous one. I can't remember what it was called. The Long Game. I really didn't like The Long Game. Like, I actually DNF'd it because someone did something gross while cooking breakfast, and I was like, right, no, can't. Not with food. Not with food around. Not with hot food around. Like, that's how you get burns. So yeah, I still had this pre-ordered, and I was like, I'm going to give it one more chance. I'm going to give it one more chance and see if I like it. Didn't realise this was not a standalone, so we shall see. And then there was The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. This is the second in the Hot Shots for Now trilogy. I thought it was a duology, but there's going to be a third one, which is Dreamgirl Drama. And this one follows the best friends of the male and female characters from the first one. So we have a single dad hockey player who needs an au pair for his daughter, and the PhD student. She's either a PhD or a master's student, and she needs somewhere to stay while she's studying, and she's studying in the same city that he lives in, and so they have this arrangement where she's going to be the au pair for his daughter, for room and board, etc, etc, and be able to study at the same time. And I think we can all see where this goes. Next up is A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver, and I'm so loving these. The sort of, it's not a prequel series to the Chestnut Springs series, and it wasn't written specifically to prequel it because this was written first, but it is set before it and it is connected. So if you've heard me talking about Elsie Silver's books, they are all connected. So this series is the Gold Rush Ranch series, and this follows Violet, who is the sister of all of the brothers in the Chestnut Springs series. So this is Violet and her friends over in Gold Rush Ranch, which is on the other side. So like, you've got Chestnut Springs, and then you've got Rose Hill, which is like Wild Eyes and Wild Love, and then you've got Gold Rush Ranch. Like they're in like Calgary's here, Chestnut Springs is here, Rose Hill is here, Gold Rush Ranch is here. If that makes sense. There's a map in one of the books, it's fine. But yeah, so these are being repackaged so that they've got new covers that kind of go with the other covers, and so I just had to get them now that they have beautiful covers that I actually want to have. Next is The Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. This is the newest book in the All Souls, I was going to say trilogy, it used to be a trilogy, it is now the All Souls series because this is book technically 5 if we're counting Times Convert as book 4, and this follows Diana and Matthew again, whereas Times Convert followed Marcus. Then I also had pre-ordered Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. Oh, you can still see where the sticker was. I need to figure a way to get this off because it's really, really annoying. Anyway, so this is the novella to go along with the Her Majesty's Royal Coven series, and this is the Waterstones Sprayed Edge edition. Next up is The End Crowns All by B. Fitzgerald. I had to. Tell me you could resist this. Tell me you could resist this. This is a matching edition to this paperback, even though I don't think they're actually connected. But I just had to. When I saw it, I had to. I'm really upset that it's a hardback compared to that paperback, but it is absolutely stunning. The blue, the end pages, like it's just absolutely beautiful. And I believe it is a Sapphic Troy retelling. And now we are on to August, which is my birthday month. So to start off the month just amazingly well, my pre-order for the Broken Bindings edition of Project Hail Mary came in. I now have all 3 of these and I am absolutely in love with all of these editions. I love Andy Weir's work, I love The Martian, we all know this. I love Project Hail Mary. When I reread it this year, I loved it even more than I did last time. I am thrilled and horrified to discover that it's getting an adaptation. So we're getting a film of Project Hail Mary. I'm ecstatic because I love Project Hail Mary and I think it's going to be incredible as a film. However, I don't like the actor that's playing Ryland. I don't like the actor that's playing Ryland, even though I've never seen one of his films. It's Ryan Gosling, by the way. I just can't see him as Ryland. I just think he's so wrong for the part. But I've been told that he is an excellent actor and that he will do justice to the part, so I'm just going to have to get over it because I'm so excited for Project Hail Mary to get a movie. I think I'm becoming obsessed with Andy Weir in general. Like, his work is just some of my favourite stuff ever. Like, I love The Martian, we all know this. I love Project Hail Mary. I loved Artemis. It's just, literally, just, I love Andy Weir's work. We're not talking about the egg, though. We're not talking about the egg. No, Vicky. We're not talking about the egg. Next are some books that I got for my birthday. And first of all, I got almost the entire series of the Bergman Brothers books. So I got 1 to 5 of these books. So this is book 1 to 5. And I was only missing 6 and 7. But yeah, I was so excited to get these because I'm so excited to go back and tab them all. And now that I have the paperbacks, I can do this because I have this gorgeous set behind me here. That is this series, but the Olympic special editions. And if you haven't read these yet, I highly recommend, obviously. So those I got an accommodation of from Vicky and from Jem. So again, thank you because I love them so much. Also for my birthday, I got Another Elizabeth by Elle Mitchell. This is my current read at the moment. I got this from Rick, so thank you, Rick. And it is a thriller, like a gory thriller, horror-esque book. And I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I've really wanted to read this book for a long time because the author and the main character both have EDS, and we both know that if the author and the main character have EDS, Andy will read it. And then from Becca, I got this series. So it is Hang the Moon, Count Your Lucky Stars, and Written in the Stars. I don't know which order they go in, but I will figure it out once I come around to reading them. I've got it in order on my series tracker, I just don't have the brain to work out which one is first. But these are 2 sapphic and 1 non-sapphic romances that Becca really loves, and yeah, so she got me the box set of all 3 of them and I'm so excited to read them. And then from Pia, I got Whiskey Business by Elliot Fletcher. I've already read this, I loved it. This is a book about Scotland written by a Scottish author, and you can so tell the difference. You can so tell the difference that it's written by a Scottish author. I swear. This is how you write Scottish people. This is how you write Scotland. This is how you do it. And I just, yes. And from Vicky, I got That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. Every time I try and say this title, I always like stop in the middle of it because I'm not sure if I've gotten it right or not. This is a fantasy romance. You can kind of guess what's going on with the title. Also from Vicky, but not for my birthday, just because I wanted the book in general, is Crypt by Alice Roberts, and it's this edition because I really wanted the edition with the skeleton on the side because it's really cool. Kind of tacked on to my birthday while we were in Asda, getting some supplies while we were up at the cabin. I saw Love Story by Lindsay Kelk, and I do have another Lindsay Kelk on my TBR. I have not read it, but this has Taylor Swift lyrics and it was in like a deal. Me and Bobby got 2 books and then split it was like 2 for £6 or something like that. So yeah, it literally, it's blurred by Emily Henry, Beth O'Leary, like, I'm not sure what you wanted me to do when I had Taylor Swift lyrics as a title. And this time, not from the Oxfam, but just because I'm now curating a collection of this book, I got this beautiful cover of The Secret Garden. I saw this on AZebraReads and I was like, yes, like look at the design. I absolutely love this. This is so stunning. This is just so me. So yeah, I decided to grab this from AZebraReads because I'm now just curating a collection of The Secret Garden. So now for some more pre-orders that came through. So we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the third in the Maple Hills series. I always forget what it's called, but I remember this time. Maple Hills series, and it has these beautiful sprayed edges, or stenciled edges. This is my favourite in the series, and oh my god, I just absolutely love it. And it's so, the colour palette is just stunning, absolutely stunning. And then we've got Queen Bee again, but this time the Fairyloot edition, because I also have all of the Fairyloot editions of these books, thanks to Pia. So yeah, this came through in the month of August. Next we have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This is the deluxe collector's edition, and I told myself I wasn't going to get this. We'll see how that went. This is cloth bound in like a navy cloth, with this beautiful gold foiling. And it also has some silver foiling here as well, and the lightning bolt on the side, on the edges. Yeah, so this is to go right here in my Percy Jackson collection. Next is The Truth About Ember by Danica Nava. This is a sort of rom-com story about an Indigenous woman named Ember who is a little bit of a pathological liar, but also is lying to help herself because Native Ember can't get a job, but White Ember can get a job. And it kind of starts off with that sort of lie. This is also the first Native American rom-com that's ever been published by an actual like big publishing house. So this is another one where I think you should get on and support it. I've not read it yet, so I can't say anything to the style of the writing or the author's voice or the story or anything like that. But this is the first, it is 2024, and this is the first ever rom-com book, romance book, written by a Native American author that has been picked up by a traditional publisher. And we need to change that. So I think you should buy this, and I think you should boost the sales, and I think you should tell the publishers we want more diverse reading in our romance. This is what we need. And the last pre-order for the month is also another one that is a cover change by, and that is the American edition of Fire Study. So these were being reprinted and I'd pre-ordered all three of them, and Fire Study was the last one to come in, obviously, because it's the last one in this trilogy. But yeah, look at this pretty. It's so pretty. I just love the American editions that were being reprinted. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get the rest of them, but a girl can hope. And lastly, for the month of August, I have another birthday book, and I saved this to the end because it is a monster and it takes some serious muscle to actually hold it up. So I didn't forget about it, Bobby. I promise you I didn't forget. That is Bobby's gift to me, which was the entirety of the collection of the Chronicles of Narnia in this absolute beast of a book. This is so heavy. Like, it's got those proper, like, not even magazine pages, like, oh my god, like, you heard that slap. I almost hit myself in the face with it. This book is unbelievably heavy. Like, if somebody breaks into my house, I could brain them with this. Like, this thing is a weapon. A weapon. Like, I'm struggling to even hold it. That's why I left it till last. And it wasn't amongst all my other birthday stuff, because it is like, I could do workouts with this. I should start squatting with this. It is a weapon, and I love it. And so we go into September, where I hold a whopping 30 books. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I absolutely have a problem. So the first thing that caused the start of this issue, really, is the fact that HarperCollins, the publisher, were having a sale on TikTok. And on their TikTok shop, they were doing a 50% sale. And then, because I'd never used TikTok shop before, I also got a 20% discount on top of that. So I got the next 6 books for less than £20. Can we just keep that in mind? First, and it really cements the fact that I'm just collecting this book now, is this Mina Lima edition of The Secret Garden. This is one of the most beautiful editions of book I own and I've ever seen. I absolutely adore this. If you've seen any of the Mina Lima stuff, you will know it is so special, and I am like this. I got this as part of a group of 6 books for about the price of this book. I'm not even kidding. This book is so beautiful and I'm so excited to add it to my collection of The Secret Garden. Basically at this point, if you see any editions of The Secret Garden and you're unhauling them, just send them my way. The next 5 books I also got in that sale. The first being Pole Position by Rebecca J. Caffrey. This is a male romance, Formula 1 romance. This is something I also have on Kindle, so I didn't actually need to get the physical edition, but oh well. And this is one of Bobby's favourite romances. She loves F1 and I really enjoyed it. Someone compared it to Red, White and Royal Blue, and I feel like of course they're going to compare it to Red, White and Royal Blue because it's a male romance. People don't have the greatest imagination when it comes to comparisons, so they'll always say like, oh, if it's male it's like Red, White and Royal Blue, but you know, I don't, it's fine. But my little brain just hooked on to Red, White and Royal Blue, and I was like, okay, so I ended up getting this, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it because Bobby speaks really highly of it and I trust Bobby. So the next 2 I got are 2 books 1 and 2 in a series. These are the only 2 that are published so far, so technically I did that thing again where I just bought all the books in the series. But that is Loving Romeo and Wild River, both by Laura Pavlov. These are books 1 and 2 in the Magnolia Falls series. And these are, again, small town romances, and every book is about a different brother. So they were compared to Chestnut Springs, and we know my weakness is Elsie Silver. If you compare something to Elsie Silver, you've got me. You've got me hooked. Just sold. Take my money. Take it. So yeah, this is actually in my TBR for this month, and I will see how I get on before I pick up this one. But this one's about a boxer from the wrong side of the tracks and a like socialite of the village, of the town. I keep saying village, and like I'm so into this. This one is about a lawyer, and yeah, sort of enemies to lovers vibes. So I'm very excited to get reading this series. I've heard high praise for it. And then I had to get myself the new Valerie McFarlane, You Belong With Me. Yes, because of the Taylor Swift lyrics. I'm a sucker right now for lyric books. Like, there's so many books. Like, Lindsay Kelk's first book that I've got is Love Me Do. It's not her first book, it's the first book of hers that I purchased, if that makes sense. So there's Love Me Do, Love Story, You Belong With Me. There's so many books that have lyrics as titles, and I'm just like, I love it so much. But yeah, Valerie McFarlane wrote a book that almost broke me, and if it hadn't been with the fact, I enjoyed it, I loved it, I thought it was great, but I read it at the wrong time. But I still really enjoyed the story. I still saw the value in the story. I still absolutely enjoyed it. It just hit a bit too close to home at the time, but I enjoyed her writing, and so that made me want to read another Valerie McFarlane book. I might just go into this one with a little bit more weariness, because the other one I thought was going to be a rom-com. It was not. But this one I think is actually a rom-com. We shall see. And the last book I got from the HarperCollins sale was Kindling by Bonnie Woods. This one I am apprehensive about. I heard people were going on about this book so much, like the girls at HarperCollins, people in the comments or the chat, were saying this book was so good. But this is based in Scotland, written by an author who is not Scottish, and so I'm wary. However, I'm willing to give this author a go because she is actually from Manchester, and so I feel like someone from Manchester will do a better job at writing Scots than an American will, or a Canadian, or someone from far enough out of the UK, well, outside the UK really. So since she's from Manchester, I feel like I trust her, I feel like we have a connection, and there's a dog. So yeah, this is also my TBR for this month, so you will see my thoughts very, very soon. But yeah, this is about somebody who goes to Scotland and gets stuck there with a forced proximity, grumpy sunshine sort of thing. It's got all my buzzwords, and I'm just so scared because I hate people writing Scots. So this year in the month of September, Rare was in Edinburgh. I didn't go I did not go. However, Tori did go, and Tori went as an assistant to Maria V. Snyder. They are friends, and hence why we're doing the Chronicles of Ixia read-along. Details in the description. And Maria very, very kindly set aside some books and signed them for me. And so, because of who I am as a person, I ended up getting the trilogy again. So Poison Study, Magic Study, and Fire Study. These are the UK reprints. So I got the US reprints and now I've got the UK reprints. And they're all signed and personalised by Maria. We sat and had dinner in Azizi in Edinburgh, and she signed all of my books because I couldn't make it to Rare. And I missed her meet up because I am a dum-dum and got my times mixed up. But because of her having dinner with her afterwards, she very kindly signed all of my books. And yeah, these were set aside for her from her Rare stock so that I could have a copy. I also got, again from Maria's stock, a copy of The Study of Poisons, which is the first book from Valak's point of view. Again, these were ones that she had at Rare and kindly set one aside for me so that I could have a copy. Honestly, it was such a blast meeting Maria. She was so lovely, so kind, so nice, and I'm so excited to get to these books. But we have 3 more books before we get there. 3 more books for me technically, because I've still not read Spyglass yet, but we digress. But yeah, so this is the first book again from Valak's point of view. The day I met Maria, I also went to a signing at the New Romance bookstore in Edinburgh. It is the first brick and mortar romance only store in, I think, the UK in Edinburgh. I will pop their details again down below, like their Instagram and stuff, or yeah, they've got Instagram. I'll put it down there. Honestly, it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It's such a small space, but they've curated the books beautifully. The staff is lovely. They've got stickers. I'll show you the stickers in a second. But, yes, so I went to a signing with Emily Rath. And so I got Plucking Around and Plucking Wild while I was there. And Emily, I'm rubbish at this. Oh no. And Emily very kindly signed both copies for me. Honestly, speaking to Emily Rath was so lovely. She was so nice, so kind. And when I got home, I basically devoured both of these books, one after the other. Which then meant, when I went to return my second copy of Daydream, because I accidentally bought 2 copies, I bought myself a copy of Pucking Sweet, which is the 3rd book in this series. And I cannot wait for the 4th book, because that ending... These are a set of companion novels, but you need to read them in sequence because it is she has like a board. I swear, she has like a board to keep on top of all these. The way they weave through each other is just absolutely stunning. And unfortunately, this is the new UK cover compared to the old covers. And so I have a mismatching set, which does mean I'm going to have to get Pucking Around and Pucking Wild when they come out in these editions, just so I have a matching set. But I'm not going to get rid of my signed set because they're signed and personalised and I love them, and they're such beautiful floppy, like, this is rubbish. What is this? 707 pages. Look at that. You tell me that's not perfect. Like, if you want to open to a page and just hold it in your hand. Oh yeah, beautiful. But yeah, I will probably get these in this edition just so I have a matching set. But yeah, again, blasted through this. Next up is my shame. Next up is me showing you what happens when I'm left alone in a bookstore. First, to procrastinate, showing you what I bought. I'm just going to show you what the stickers and stuff I got. So first of all, I got this beautiful bookmark, which is free from the shop. This is their details. I will just put that there. So this is the Book Lovers Bookshop, which is the romance bookshop that I was telling you about in Edinburgh. It is honestly such a cute shop and so well curated, but they give you these for free when you buy a book. I have 2 because I went in twice. I got one with my Pucking Around and one with the next lot you're going to see. I also got a pin and some amazing stickers. So first is this sticker and this pin, which say they're the same design. It's just one's a sticker, one's a pin, and it says some disabilities are invisible. When I saw that, I had to get it, especially since this was the last sticker. Because I had to get it because some disabilities are invisible. I have EDS, hypermobile EDS to be specific, and I'm disabled, and people often tell me, it's like, oh, you're too young to be disabled, or you don't look disabled. Some disabilities are invisible, right? Some disabilities are visible, and so I cannot wait to rock this pin and put the sticker somewhere when I get over my commitment phobia when it comes to stickers. The next two I had to pick up again because they're such cute queer stickers. So we've got this Read with Pride sticker, and it's got the pride flag on the book. It's the Progress Pride flag on a book, an openish book with Read with Pride written on it on the front of the book. And then there is a sticker that says Queer Books, and it is by author Becca Steele. So her website is authorbeccasteel.com on that sticker there. And again, we've just got a lovely heart in the Pride colours with Queer Books. The next two, I think I just absolutely, I had to. I actually ended up getting Bobby one of these as well, and that is the Wear the Hat, Ride the Cowboy, and this beautiful pink cowboy hat sticker. Because, well, if you've read the Chestnut Springs series, you'll get the reference. You will get the reference. I loved this sticker when I saw it, and because Bobby also read the Chestnut Springs series, she was like, can you get me one? And I was like, of course I will get you one. Because, and it's even pink to go with Flawless. It's even pink to go with Flawless. And the last sticker was this one, which I think sums up this haul, which is, I have zero shelf control. So yeah, these are beautiful. And I grabbed this card. I think this might be who makes the stickers. It's the business card for A Throne of Books. And I will show you the back with all the details, if I can get it on the screen. Oh my god, my hands shake so much. So it is athroneofbooks.com. Insta is A Throne of Books with 3 S's. I will put the details in the description. Okay, that is enough procrastinating. Let's get down to business. Do the feet, the hands. Anyway, let's get down to the books that I bought in the romance bookshop. No judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. There will be no judgment. So firstly, we have Behind the Net and the Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. You'll be sitting there going, Andy, don't you already have those books? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Shut up. No judgment. No judgment zone. And I got these because they are the, what's it called? The trad publishing edition. I have the indie published versions, and almost dropped them there. And the newest one, The Wingman, which you will see in a little bit, has been traditionally published, and these have been repackaged traditionally published because Stephanie Archer got picked up by a publisher, which is fantastic. And you know what? I don't mind buying them twice to support the author, and also, like, I love my indie published versions. They're up there, I'm looking at them, and I wouldn't give them up for the world. Next is If Only You and Only and Forever, which are the last two in the Bergman Brothers series in paperback. I had to, again, I only had the first 5 that I got for my birthday, so when I saw these, I just grabbed the last 2. It was a sign that they were there, so I have the full series so that I can now tab it all. I say it again, no judgment zone. But I got the entire B.K. Borison series. So that is Love Like Farms, Mixed Signals, In the Weeds, and Business Casual. Look, the whole thing was there. It was a sign. That's how I justify things to myself, so shut up. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to read Love Like Farms probably in November or December. These are all blurbed by authors that I really enjoy. Mostly Hannah Grace, to be perfectly honest, and Elena Armas. But yeah, I just... Look, Chloe Lease blurbed these. We all know I love Chloe Lease. And this one, Business Casual, I saw recently mentioned by Viv's Little Library here on YouTube. I will tag her below. And she absolutely adored Business Casual. And it just, the way she was talking about it just really made me want to read it. So I bought the whole series because Business Casual is the last book. And I can't just read the last book. I need to read the whole series. Next is, bear with me, That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf. This is the companion novel to That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. Oh my god. I struggle bus on this. Again, I saw it was a sign, I had to get it. This is a tiny little book. And just shut up. Next, I picked up Boyfriend Subscription by Stephen Salvatore, and this is another one that had been sitting in my wish list for ages, and I just hadn't ended up getting it yet, but when I saw it, say it with me, It was a sign. And lastly, the last book that I'm going to talk about that I got from the Romance Bookshop is Disability Intimacy by Alice Wong, or edited by Alice Wong. This is a collection of essays by disabled people about intimacy, and not necessarily the type of intimacy that you're talking about, just intimacy in general. And it is talking about things like care and that kind of intimacy, but also like other types of relationships and self-love and stuff like that, all to do with disabled people. So each essay is from a different disabled person on the subject of intimacy. And I absolutely loved Disability Visibility. And so when I saw this, I didn't even know this was created at all, but I had to pick it up because, you know, being a disabled person, I love finding out more, reading more, getting other people's perspectives, and you don't need to be a disabled person to want to learn about disabled lives. Really, everybody should be trying to make the effort, but for me, it's just extra special because of the fact that I live with disability. Next are the books I got when I went to AJ West's event for Thomas True, and that is The Spirit Engineer by AJ West. Yes, I already have it in hardback, but I decided to pick up the paperback, one because it's absolutely stunning, and two because I just want to support AJ West. And yeah, he signed and personalised it and stamped it, and it was just honestly so great speaking to him. And I love this book. This book absolutely twisted my brain, and I loved it. And also while I was there, I picked up The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. Gareth Brown was the author that was doing the talk with AJ West, so he was kind of interviewing him in a way. And I read this recently and I absolutely loved it. And honestly, if you're looking at this and thinking it's going to be like a high fantasy or like that sort of like portal fantasy type high fantasy, it is not. It is very much urban fantasy and very much character led, and I absolutely loved it. This book, again, he must have had like a pinboard with all the plot points and how they work together, because the way he tied this book together was unreal. I absolutely loved it. This was just so much fun, so gripping. I think I read it in one sitting, so yeah, definitely recommend this one as well. I just realised I missed one of the books. I lumped it in with my pre-orders by accident that I bought on the Romance Bookshop, so add another tally to that one, and that is A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire by Sarah Hawley. I have books 1 and 2. I loved books 1 and 2, and when I saw this, I thought I'd pre-ordered it. That's why I accidentally lumped it with my pre-orders. I thought I'd pre-ordered it. I hadn't. I saw it in the Romance Bookshop, and it was a sign, so I picked it up. Okay, now we're on to my pre-orders, and this is the last section. We're almost there. So first we have The Wingman by Stephanie Archer. This is the third in the Vancouver Storm series. Oh my god, I'll get myself so mixed up. So this is the third in the Vancouver Storm series. Behind the Net and The Fake Out are the first two. This is the third one. I've been really looking forward to this because just look at it, it's so beautiful. And it's two characters that I was quite interested in from the other books as well. So yeah, again, already read this. Already love it. Next is this beautiful edition of Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series, and W.H. Smith had a exclusive edition that I pre-ordered, and as you can see, it is foiled on the orange, whereas the regular one is just, so it's more this colour, like one of these oranges on the edges, whereas W.H. Smith have a foiled edition. It is absolutely stunning. But yeah, again, another one I've already read. Next is the newest in the Percy Jackson series, and that is Percy Jackson and the Wrath of the Triple Goddess. This again, beautiful edition from Waterstones, absolutely knocking it out of the park. This is the second book in a new trilogy about Percy Jackson. So this follows on from Heroes of Olympus. So it happens between Heroes of Olympus and Trials of Apollo, or potentially after Heroes of Olympus, but within Trials of Apollo, because I'm pretty sure at one point in Trials of Apollo, Percy's like, I am too busy to help you. I have stuff to do, and I think this is the stuff he's doing. So yeah, this is the second book in that trilogy, and again, already read it because of course I read it the minute I got my hands on it, just added to my collection. And the last book, the last one I'm going to show you, yes, you can switch off after this, it's fine, is the special edition hardback of volume 5 of Heartstopper. It's got like Iron Brew vibes going on, I have to say. So yeah, as you can see, I collect these editions, and this is the newest one, the 5th one, and we only have one left, guys. We only have one more volume of Heartstopper to go. How sad is that? So there we go. That is my Q3 stats and my Q3 haul. I've hauled so many books. There are so many books around me right now. I have to go put them back on their relative shelves. And yeah, I think I'm just going to go downstairs and not bother with that and come back and do it later when past Andy can push me out for it. If you want to let me know that you were here but you don't want to sit and write a big comment out, if you just pop some kind of romantic emoji in the comments for the romance bookstore. Again, I will put all their details. This is their thing here. I will put all their details and all the details of the person that made the stickers in my description box down below, so you can go visit them. I don't know, I'm assuming they do orders like you can buy online because they have a website, and it's really important to be supporting indie bookshops. We don't really have that many indie bookshops where I am, and so I love going into Edinburgh and getting into the indie bookshops down there. Okay, I'm done. I need to go get some food because this went on much longer than I anticipated. Even though at the start of the video I said this is going to be a long one. So apologies Ed and Andy, apologies to everybody who's watching this, and if you're still watching this now, congratulations, because I feel like this is going to be a long one. But I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!